This is Ryan Watches a Movie, where we get our friend Ryan to watch a movie and tell us what he thought.
Gun balls out in the lumberyard.
Watching the Grunion Pro Magi. If you're listening to this, don't even waste your time.
Hello and welcome to Ryan Watches a Movie. This is episode number 229. My name's Adam Patterson. Joining me today, we got Kevin Rakestraw on the mic. How you doing, Kevin?
Doing good.
We're also joined by Ryan Holes. How are you?
Pretty good.
Pretty good. Can't complain, huh?
I can, but it must just be the same story.
God. And now everybody's depressed.
Work. They shouldn't be. I'm not. I might sound that way, but I'm not depressed.
Okay, good. What movie do we have you watch this week?
Resident Evil Retribution.
Resident Evil Retribution. Picked this in honor of Resident Evil, the final chapter, coming out this week. This is written and directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. I have a synopsis here. Alice fights alongside a resistance movement to regain her freedom from an Umbrella Corporation testing facility. Ryan, tell us a thing or two about Resident Evil Retribution. Oh, sorry. By the way, this is the one that came out in 2012. So this is the one that came out right before the new one.
So what number is this?
I believe this is number 5.
All right, well,
I think so. Let me just.
You're correct. I'd say I saw number 1, but I'd say 2, 3, 4.
That's what I was counting on.
Well, I don't even know where to start. All I know is that Mila Jovovich starts out like a normal person, but it's actually a holographic test run that the Umbrella Corporation is doing to America and Japan and Russia and China and possibly a few other places I'm forgetting. But there are like 3 or 4 there are a few other people that were in one that are apparently bad, but they're holographic, so they're not really bad. And at a few different points, Mila fights some of them, and at another point, the people she fights, she sends her daughter with them, or the girl that thinks she's her daughter. It's actually the hologram's kid, but obviously they look alike, so the kid thinks that the real one is her mom.
Are you sure you don't mean clone?
Yeah, that's what I mean when I say.
If they're not holograms. Holograms would be just like video, like not.
Yeah.
They're clones.
So at a later point, like I said, Mila teams up with some of them and then fights them later on. And then after that, finds out that the main girl, who I'm assuming replaced Allie Larder, if I'm saying that right.
Allie Larder?
In one of the other Resident Evil.
I think she's in this one. She's in this one. So maybe it was just Allie Larder.
Wow, I didn't look like her. I mean,
it
I kind of did, but it also didn't.
Oh, never mind. She's in it, but it's archive footage.
Yeah. Well, there's a new girl that apparently looks a lot like her. And there's also an Asian girl who is the bad guy's top agent, and the power is knocked out. So the agent becomes good and fights along with Mila, and the blonde girl, because I don't know her name, the blonde girl has a scarab on her chest, that is also a mind control device. And they end up shooting that off. And then they fight, what's that girl's name from Fast and Furious?
Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah. She's in it, but apparently she's a bad guy throughout the movie. Even though in the beginning, or in the first one, she was a good guy, I believe.
Yeah, she died in the first one, so they brought her back as a clone in this one, I believe.
And she can't be killed. So her at the end, her and Mila are fighting, and Mila shoots the ground, and it breaks the ice in a circle pattern. And Michelle Rodriguez falls into the water, and he gets dragged down by zombies. So I assume she's dead. And there's some scenes of the White House with the maid bad guy, but I'm not sure if it's the real Washington or a clone of Washington.
Like
A clone of the city?
a full-on clone of the entire city of Washington, D.C.
Well, at different points in this, so I forget what it's called, but they have like different, I can't think of the word, different instances of big cities because they're testing weapons and they can't do that on real cities without things going totally haywire. So they test these virtual cities, but they look exactly like the real thing, and they're all populated with clones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I was just real confused about the whole thing. I feel like they didn't even need to make this one. Because every time somebody dies, they just come back to life.
So what did you think of Resident Evil Retribution overall?
It's fucking stupid.
Do you think your thoughts would change if you saw 2, 3, and 4?
No. Because
I
like
gotta...
I said, I'm pretty sure this movie was strictly made to make money. Like, people die, and then they come back to life. And they die, they come back to life. And the explanation is, well, it's a virtual place, and we're just testing things. So you never know what's real and what's fake. It's hard to follow, at least for me.
Yeah, it was really difficult to follow.
Yeah. Well,
I'm so confused.
Yeah, having seen the movie, it definitely is a difficult one for sure. I reviewed this on the site back when this came out. I reviewed it on September 15th, 2012. So I gave it a 2 out of 10 in my review, and I can just read a couple things because I don't remember anything about this movie. Like, I remember almost nothing. But when I go back and read my review, I said the film fails on every level and will certainly leave fans of the game crying in their Umbrella Corp themed pillowcases. Ooh. I said, what did I say here? If the story sounds ridiculous, it's because it is. The butchering of the Resident Evil storyline is morphed into a convoluted mess of biblical proportions. So much so that we need endless amounts of exposition throughout the film just to have even the slightest clue as to what's happening. What's worse is that even with the nearly nonstop exposition, there's still no point to what we're seeing. The characters walk into a new area, random creature attacks, rinse, repeat.
It kind of sounds like the game, though.
Yeah. Apparently, the filmmakers thought it would be a good idea to include more characters and creatures from the video games into the film. We have people who previously died in the other films coming back as clones. Some new characters like Ada Wong. She's from, I think, Resident Evil 4 or maybe even Resident Evil 2. I think she's from 2, actually.
Mm.
Nearly everyone in the team from the first film is back, but instead of the nostalgic reunion vibe, we're left with a "oh no, not these assholes again" vibe. So I definitely
Basically,
didn't
you
like
said
it.
everything that I'm thinking, only
Pretty-
in different words.
No, pretty much word for word. It's been a while since I played the Resident Evil game, but like what you just described to me doesn't sound like Resident Evil at all.
No, it's nothing like the
No.
games.
That's one other big problem with this.
None of the movies were like the games, though.
Yeah.
None of them. Even the first one, which is probably the closest, it's still nothing like it. There's no atmosphere to it. There's no horror. It's pure action. And in my review for this one, I said the action feels insanely dated considering The Matrix came out over a decade ago. People want more realistic action, not stylistic wire work that says fuck you to gravity. And that's what this movie is. It's just slow motion, super stylized, blowing away of zombies.
Yeah.
I would like to say that I had to look up to see if there were actual Resident Evil pillowcases, and there are.
Yeah,
So
of course.
I needed to fact check your review, and it checks out.
Yeah.
Good work.
And I just lost one off again.
What?
Keep going. I forget what I was gonna say.
I will say it, like at the end of my review, I said, here's hoping that Resident Evil 6, the game, is great so we can at least get this taste out of everyone's mouth. Well, I have some sad news for you, past Adam. Resident Evil 6 was not great. It was very, very bad.
Oh.
Well, the other reason I picked this movie is because Resident Evil 7, the game, came out this week as well.
Oh.
And I've only played about 30 minutes of the game. However, it is completely, I mean, they just completely revamped the whole series. It's completely different. It still has the kind of Resident Evil vibe to it in a lot of ways, but they switch as like first person now. So it's like you're really in it. It's a lot more immersive. And it's in VR. So if you have a PlayStation VR, you can play it in VR.
Watch
and
out.
it is intense.
Oh, we are in the future.
It's awesome.
Boy.
From what I played so far, it scared the shit out of me.
Nice.
And it is definitely worth picking up. It's like it takes place in Louisiana in the bayou,
Oh, boy.
and the game starts out, you're investigating, you're trying to find your girlfriend who's been missing, and you get this mysterious video, and you have to go explore this super creepy house that's inhabited by these kind of like hillbilly people. So it's got this sort of Texas Chainsaw Massacre vibe to it. But of course it's Resident Evil, so there's like a zombie sort of infected element, but really, really good so far. Unlike the movies. Actually, I think, Ryan, I think if you checked out some of the other ones, like, I think it was Extinction. The one that I like.
Birds.
Yeah, there were a lot of birds in that one. That's the one that takes place in the desert. It's like it almost it's like Mad Max. That one. That's like the Mad Max one where they have the
part of that one
where they have the crazy vehicles and stuff. Like that one's not too bad, but the rest of them are not great. I want to go back and watch a couple of them just because they're kind of fun.
This one's not fun.
No, Retribution is not fun because, like I said in my review, the movie starts off. This is one of the few things I remember about it. I saw this in the theater, and it starts off with Mila Jovovich narrating this super long bit of exposition, just getting everybody caught up to what's going on, and it never ends. You're just like, are you just going to tell us the whole movie? Is that what's happening here?
Yeah, I feel like they retold like what happened in at least the first movie.
It takes like 20 minutes to get through it. It's insane.
It's dumb.
That's why you see in the credits, you see the archive footage for like 100 people because they just replay all the other movies.
Is that what they do?
Well, they do it for a lot because they do it at the beginning, and they actually show clips from the other movies. And then, if I remember correctly, they do it again later. It's ridiculous. It's nothing but exposition.
And
And it's
also,
like really lazy too.
I watch this in my bedroom, and that TV doesn't have the television or any of that, and everything still like you could tell they were actors in front of a screen doing action. It was awful.
Everything was, the action was really bad in that.
Now,
And
if you didn't watch it with the true motion, can you say that you actually truly watched it?
Oh, God,
I mean,
true motion.
I'm
True
sure
motion is the only way to experience cinema. Okay,
Ryan would probably love Billy Lynn's long halftime walk, 120 frames per second. That's gonna that motion's gonna be so true. It's gonna make your fucking mind get blown.
I would certainly not rewatch it just for true motion, so I can see how terrible it really is.
Oh, there you go.
Have you ever watched anything and thought to yourself, "Wow, this looks so much better in true motion"?
When I used to watch Sons of Anarchy,
That look better in
the motion just looks more lifelike.
Little crisper.
Yeah, but
smoother.
it also looked like soap opera.
Yeah.
That's how you can explain it. Looks like a soap opera.
I can't
like
stand that.
What you just described was it makes Sons of Anarchy look like a real life soap opera.
And that's a good thing, apparently.
Kind of, yeah.
That is what Ryan is fucking looking for.
It seems more real.
The only thing that I would turn that true motion on, and I don't because I have it on my TV, I just keep it off for everything. But the only thing that I would use it for would be video games. That's the only thing. I would turn it on if I played a game, but of course I don't, so I don't care that much. But movies, no, it's just terrible. You're not watching it the way it's meant to be seen. It's altering the video.
Yeah.
My eyes are so used to it now. I don't notice it that much.
I would love to see like Billy Lynn's long halftime walk in true motion at 120 frames per second with true motion turned on. It would look so ridiculous to me. Or
then playback speed at like plus 1.5.
Yeah.
Just to see what happens, and then do some coke before you do that.
It'd be like watching. Have you guys, Kevin? Have you seen any of the internet memes that they do with the Bee Movie, the Jerry Seinfeld one?
I have not.
Oh my God, you should watch some of them. So we're way off topic, but there's videos out there where like every time they say the word bee in Bee Movie, they speed it up by 2 times. So you can watch the whole movie, and every time they say bee, they double the speed. It's so funny.
And they make the movie like 5 minutes long.
It's very short, yeah. It is very, very short.
Yeah.
And then there's also a version of Bee Movie that has no bees in it at all. So they edited it out. They took out any scenes that had the bees. So it just looks like people freaking out and talking to no one. Let's talk about Paul W.S. Anderson and his career. I don't think we ever talked about him on this show. We probably should have. He did a film called Shopping in 1994. I'm not actually familiar with that. And then he did Mortal Kombat. And that was what really kind of broke him onto the scene. I kind of want to see this Shopping movie. Jude Law? Interesting. So he did Mortal Kombat. Then he did Event Horizon. He did Soldier. Yeah, he did Event Horizon. These are movies that I absolutely loved when I was a kid. I loved Soldier, the one with Kurt Russell. Then he did Resident Evil, Alien vs. Predator, or as it's called on here, AVP:*Alien vs. Predator. Terrible.
Just in case.
He did Death Race, which was that Jason Statham remake of the Roger Corman film. That was a terrible idea. and a terrible movie. Then he did Resident Evil Afterlife, The Three Musketeers, Resident Evil Retribution, Pompeii, and now he's doing Resident Evil: The Final Chapter. I thought
Seems
he
like
did.
he kind of
I
seems
thought
like
he
he
did.
kind of got stuck in a Resident Evil K-hole here.
He did. I mean, he wrote all of them, so he didn't direct parts 2 and 3 and 4. No, he did 3 and 4 and 5. No, he did 4 and 5. I don't know. There was a couple of them. He didn't direct Extinction, and there might have been another one in there that he didn't do. I'm so confused about these Resident Evil movies. They just need to number them. Yeah, he directed 4 of the 6, so there's 2 of them in there that he didn't do. Ryan, what's your take on Paul W.S. Anderson?
It started off good, then it went downhill real fast.
I would argue that he never started off good, but
Like, in my eyes, I enjoy it. Like Mortal Kombat. I know it's terrible, but I enjoyed it. When I was a kid, at least.
maybe that's the thing. Maybe he's just not. He's a director that is clearly aiming his films at 13-year-old boys. Maybe that's the thing. Because I know that a lot of those Resident Evil movies were PG-13. Like they didn't go back to the R rating until later on.
Until the fan base started growing up.
I guess that's what it is. What do you think about Paul W.S. Anderson's career, Kevin?
Out of everything I've seen, what have I seen? I've seen Mortal Kombat, and I've seen Mortal Kombat. So.
Oh, you never saw Event Horizon?
No, I think that's something that I should. That's something I've been meaning to see for a while. But Mortal Kombat. Now it's been since 1995, because I think Mortal Kombat was one of the first movies I saw in a theater.
What?
And
you didn't see a movie in the theater until you were 11 years old?
Probably.
That's odd.
Like my family's not. They don't watch movies.
Yeah, you didn't go see like a Disney movie or anything?
No, my family didn't have money to go to the theaters. But I got to see Mortal Kombat at the Delco Plaza. So to me, Mortal Kombat's the fucking shit.
You just brought back some history.
Yeah, I think I went to see it at Delco Plaza.
I think we've talked about this before. We were probably all there at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. We did have this conversation before. Because I think it was Delco that had the really cool arcade right across the way from it.
With the indoor mini golf?
Yeah.
And they also had the comic store?
Yep.
Yeah.
Comics Connection.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Boy.
Well, you should definitely see Event Horizon because I think that you will. You're a fan of sci-fi, and I think that you will definitely like that one because not only is it sci-fi, it's horror, but it's also kind of weird. Like, it's really weird and very dark. And Sam Neill loses his fucking mind in it. And any movie that has Sam Neill losing his mind is one that you should probably see.
Yes, I do like the sound of that. I might have to check this out. This Event Horizon.
I think it's objectively his best movie. All right. Any final thoughts before we give you your drum roll on Resident Evil Retribution?
No.
All right, there we go then. All right, Ryan, what do you give Resident Evil Retribution?
2.
That is a 2 out of 10. Now, I have to ask, Resident Evil, the final chapter, what are you thinking about that?
Well, according to the commercial, it's the best one yet. But also, it doesn't have me excited at all. So I'm going to skip it, probably.
I'm probably going to give it a look. It looks terrible, but it looks like it's going to be better than Retribution. And from what I heard, it actually is a good one. I mean, it only has a 44% right now on Rotten Tomatoes, but that's only with 9 reviews counted. And I saw some other critics, like on my Twitter feed, talk about it and say that it's actually pretty good.
Cool.
And by that, I mean pretty good for a Resident Evil movie.
Yeah.
So
You know it's bad when you have one movie. You can say this is pretty good or pretty bad based on the other one. And nothing else.
Yeah. Yeah. It is what it is. It's Resident Evil. What do you expect? Last week we were talking about your scores, and I said I was pretty sure that you gave something lower than a 1. And you actually gave 2 movies a 0. You gave Sallow or the 120 Days of Sodom a 0, and you also gave Almighty Thor a 0.
Damn, but what about Catwoman?
I think Catwoman was a 0.5.
Oh, you lost all credibility just now. One fell swoop. Credibility.
I wish my scores were based on like
budget.
The letterbox numbers. I wish they were based on like every one is 0.5 up to 5. If that doesn't make sense, yeah.
Wait, I mean,
I guess.
Could do that. Just do the math and
just double it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you get into, there's like weird territory where like 7.5 is okay, do you give that 3.5 stars or 4 stars?
True.
These are struggles that I deal with every day on Letterboxd. It almost makes me want to switch to a 5-point system on our site.
Not gonna happen. We gotta have that struggle. We gotta have that.
I know.
We gotta make things more difficult for us.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I rarely give a movie above a 5 or 6, and I need something lower than 2 or 3.
Like a 1 or 0.
Well, yeah,
those are technically lower.
But like you just said, if I gave other movies 0, I can't go lower than that.
Gotcha.
You go into the negatives.
Go into the negatives. It's your show, man.
Yeah, go into the negatives.
That won't match them on Letterboxd.
Well, they're not going to match perfectly on your Letterboxd anyway. Again, this is the struggle. It's never gonna be a perfect match.
But I'm OCD about that.
Just in the review portion of Letterboxd, just put -2 stars.
I couldn't do it.
Circumvent the whole star system of Letterboxd and do your own thing within the review box. Just blaze your own trail, Ryan. All right?
I'll start it.
You got to start taking control of your life.
Yeah.
And with that, we will end this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you like what you hear, consider helping us out by becoming a subscriber. Patreon.com/FilmPulse. And even if you don't like what you hear, maybe you could just cut us a bone. Give us $1 a month.
Here's some pity change.
We'll get better, we promise. Your money will make us get better. It'll be a higher quality show.
Give us another 5 years.
Yeah. You can send us your questions and topics to podcast@filmpulse.net. You can follow us on Twitter @FilmPulseNet, @FilmPulseKevin, and @MyLegsDon'tWork. For Kevin Rakestraw and Ryan Holes, my name's Adam Patterson. We'll see you next week.
See you later.